Hello, and welcome to Route Planner version 2.1 tutorial. This is the route planner that I developed for myself and my wife when we do route shopping. I've had a lot of inquiries from shoppers to get a better understanding of how it works. So rather than try to write it all out and explain, I thought I'd do a short tutorial that gives you a better explanation on how this works and the benefits I believe that other shoppers can experience from using the spreadsheet. What you're looking at right now is the spreadsheet once it opens up, and I like to go over each of the different areas so that you understand how this functions. First of all, right up here is your shop date. That's the date you plan on shopping. This area will be used for the time you're going to depart your home. Then we go to the next column. These are your stop numbers, the time you will arrive at each stop, the location name, the location address, the travel time, how much time it will take you to get to that particular location, the shop time, how much time you will spend at each location. Based on that information, it will calculate the depart time that you'll be leaving that location. Remember that the travel time, shop times are all estimates. The travel time is based on an actual time to get from point A to point B, but we like to overestimate that in case of traffic, and you'll see how that comes into play once we start to enter data. Same thing goes for shop time. You estimate how long the shop is going to take. Again, always overestimate. Overestimate all of your times. Okay. Shop type. Shop type, that'll depend on yourself. In our particular instance, we like to use abbreviations. We use W for a written shop, W for a written shop, VID for video, AUD for audio, and you can use whatever you like or not even use it at all. It's just a shop type that we like to refer to when we're doing our apartment shops, so we know what type of shop it's going to be. So we're prepared when we leave the previous location for the next location. So in other words, if the previous location we did was a written shop, and I go on here and look at the next shop is video or audio, I know I need to change into my video shirt, my cam button shirt before I get there. Team name, well, because my wife and I shop together, that's where we put our initials in, either S or K. Again, it's an optional field that you can use. And you can change the name to something else if you like, or eliminate it completely. Your choice. Shop pay, pretty explanatory. Put in what the shop pays. And MSC is what company, the mystery shopping company, who gave you the job. And again, I would probably use in here, like I do, as abbreviations for the various shops. And the shop ID would go in here. These are not compulsory fields. Everything is optional. These are things that just make my life easier when I'm trying to reconcile pay at our pays when they come in at the end of the month. Just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, if we scroll down now, let's look at our function menu. We have Create New Planner. When you press that, it'll automatically create a new tab at the bottom. Change tab name will change the name of that tab you created at the bottom. Excuse me. Fast Save does exactly that. It's just a fast save feature, so you don't have to go up here and click Save at your file. Print route sheet, same idea. Rather than go up here, you'll be able to print this particular sheets to your printer a little quicker. Create temp address file is once all the addresses have been inputted, we need to create a temp address file that we're going to use in both MapQuest, Optimizer, and Google Maps. When you press either of these buttons, they're going to take you to the internet link for MapQuest Optimizer and Google Maps. Once we go down here, you'll see there's more information to enter. It's going to say, what will this route pay you? Don't worry about that. That's a self-calculating field based on the information you put in the shop pay category. That's right. It's going to add up all that shop pay. It's going to put it down here for you in the first part. It'll then also place it down here in the second part. The next section is enter your round trip miles. You're going to get that information directly off of MapQuest when we do our optimizing. And we'll enter that in there, and that will then calculate out the estimated gas usage. Now, to get your estimated gas usage, we're going to need to know those round trip miles that we're going to put in here. You can enter here how many miles your car gets to the gallon. Ours gets around 18 to 20. I lowball it at 18. The cost of a gas of fuel, the cost of a gallon of fuel, and that's going to vary around the country from time to time. I just use $2.50 all year round. It can go down to $1.90, $1.80, $2.20, $2.50. I just use it as an estimator. It doesn't really have any specific function, but to let me know how much gas I'm going to end up spending on this particular trip. And it'll tell me how many gallons I'm going to use, and of course the estimated fuel cost. If you happen to do a mileage rate expense on your taxes, this field will come in handy because the IRS determines that 55 cents a mile is the reimbursement rate, and that would cover your fuel, repairs, insurance. It's basically all lumped into one nice little package. So rather than listing all of your expenses, you just do away with that because you're keeping track of your mileage and you can prove your mileage for work. Then that would be the numbers you would use. Some use it, some don't. Okay. When you are completed your route and you've come home, this is when you would then fill in your income and expense summary. This part will be filled out for you based on what I told you a minute ago, which is the total amount of shops you've done and how much they paid you. You can enter in here the fuel cost for the day, any food, any hotels, any tolls, and you've got a bunch of miscellaneous columns for any other expenses. And that'll give you a calculation of what you actually made on this route. You know, some people say, I went out and I did $300 today. Well, yeah, is that before or after your gas, your food, any tolls, any other expenses? Some people seem to forget about that because you actually didn't get 300. You may have only got 250, 200, whatever that magic number is, depending on how far you traveled. So it makes you more aware of, was that route worth doing? Okay. And then at the bottom here is a section for notes that you can handwrite in once this is printed out for you to remember anything when you get home. Okay. And that explains all the columns. So let's go back up and create a route. First and foremost, you never want to use the master sheet for entering any information except your home address. So let me do that now. Once I've entered my home address in the master, I want to save it. Okay, I just used the fast save, by the way, to do that. That will now appear on every sheet that I make from this point forward. So before we do that, one other thing I should explain to you. If you notice down here on the tabs, there's one called instructions. I do have printed instructions if you ever have to refer to them when you have this piece of this spreadsheet. All right, back to the master. So first thing we want to do is we want to create a new planner. So we click Create New Planner. If you notice down here at the bottom, a new tab was created called Master 2. I don't want to call it Master 2 because I have no idea what Master 2 is in a day from now. I need to know, so I need more specific information. Well, the specific information, how I'm going to file these, will be by trip dates. And I'm going to do this trip on January the 3rd. I'm not going to put the year. I know it's 2019. Okay, now I come back down here, and if I hit change tab name, watch what happens to the word master. It just changed to January 3rd, and I'm on that particular tab for this route. The next thing I want to do is I want to enter information. What information? Well, if you happen to enter location names, great. If you don't, you don't. I particularly like to enter the name so I know where I'm going. So what I'm going to do here is I have some addresses, and rather than stand here and type them all out, I am going to copy them into here. Now, I'm not putting these in any specific order. I'm trying to jumble them up so that you can see how the optimizer works. Okay, and the last thing that I like to do is I like to put home in again at the end. Okay. I can now go over here, and if I wanted to, I'm going to fill in the shop types. So I'm going to say this was a W, written shop, a written shop, a video shop, an audio shop, audio shop, video, and video. Okay. And this was Kathy, this was Steve, and we like to do them like this whenever we can, so we rotate so we don't get too tired being a little bit older. And we're going to make the shop pays all the same. Well, we'll do them different. Let's see, a written shop that's probably about 50. Let's say 50. All right, and then I'm going to put the companies were shop IDs. Well, just for argument's sake, I'm just going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just going to just copy the same ones just for this example. There we go. Okay. I have now entered all the addresses, all the information is done, right? Now you'll notice I didn't put in what time I'm leaving home yet. I'm going to put that in after I run the map, okay? So I now need to create the temp address file. So I click on that, and it's done. If you notice down here, the number 330, because that's how much we're going to get paid for this route, $330. If I go down here, you'll see this route will pay you $330, okay? And again, it appears over here. Now, once I find out how many miles this route is, I'll then be able to see if this route was worthwhile to do even before I go out the door. All right, so the next thing I need to do is I need to do a map quest optimize. Before I do that, I'm going to save it just in case. So I'll do a fast save. All right. Now I created my temp map. I want to optimize. So you may not see this because I run multiple screens So this is going to come up on another screen. I'll drag it over so you can view it. When I click this, there we go. Hopefully that worked. You'll now see that Route Planner for MapQuest popped up from the internet. I want to go to Browse. I want to find the file. Now, if you see you'll see in the instructions that this particular file we're looking for is going to be located in your C drive in the file folder Route Planner 2.1. If you click on it, you can see in the preview screen that those are all the addresses just the way I need them. And I'm going to open that up now. And there we go. This one here will be deleted because it looks for the very first heading. There is address. So we're going to start at my home. These are all the shops. We're going to end at my home. Now what I want to know is show me. Let's see if we can zoom in here or zoom out. We're going to preview the route. This is the way the route currently looks from my home. So it's all over the place. D, C, D, E, F. It's close, but it could be better. See, I've got B all the way up here. Oops. B is all the way up here. C is all the way down there. And then I've got D somewhere else. So let's run the optimizer. Let us reorder the stops on the route. See where my mouse is? My pointer? Click that. Let it do its work. And let's review the new route. There we go. B, C, D is up there. D, E, F, G, and then home again. So I made a complete circle. Perfect. So now what I need to do is I need to make these addresses match what I have on the other page. Okay? So what you would do is you would shrink this down a bit so you could work on both, split your window. I'm going to move it to my other side for now and show you what you do. Okay. Easiest way to do this is highlight all these locations that you typed in and move them somewhere else on the page. You move them down here, move them over here, wherever you want. I'm going to put them over. You know what? I'll put them down here for right now. There we go. I no longer need these here. So delete them. Gone. All right, so according to my MapQuest, I need to go to Brookview Drive first. That was this one. So I'm going to Control Copy, and I'm going to Control V. My next one was Lake Island. Lake Island is right here. Control Copy, Control V. Next one I had was Concord Drive, right there. My next one was Harlow. My next one, Fairmont. And the next one was Plymouth. And the last one was home. Don't need these anymore. Let's delete them. There's my route according to MapQuest. And I'll bring that over and just give you a look. See? All the same. And what I also do is I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 shops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm good. All right, what do I need to know next? How much time and what is the route? How many miles? Well, if I go back up here, I'm going to go to View Route Directions. And it tells me it's 179 miles. So I'm going to go back into here. Number 1, I want the miles. I'm going to overestimate, and I'm going to say 180 miles. Let's say it's 200, just because I got lost or I went the wrong way or I did something silly. 200. I get 18 miles to the gallon. Fuel at 250. What's it going to cost me? There we go. $27.78. So $30, let's say, for fuel. And again, that's going to be high because fuel right now is not $2.50, it's only $2. But if I go $2 and I know I'm using 11 gallons, that's $22. So you can sort of work this out on your own once you have all these numbers. Okay. Again, it's an estimate. We don't use it down here. This is an actual expense. These are just estimates. Now we go back up and we're going to do our times. All right. So I'm going to tell you my shop times. It takes us 30 minutes, between 20 and 30 minutes to do an apartment shop. And these are all apartment shops. So I've already got in here 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30, 30, 30, 30. You can change these to whatever you want. And I'll show you what you do. I can show you in travel time. So let's first go to the first location. And let's go back to our MapQuest, and let's take a look at what MapQuest tells me. MapQuest is telling me this is going to take me 48 minutes to get here. I really don't care how many miles it is. I'm only interested in time. 48 minutes to me is an hour. Why? Traffic, weather conditions, whatever, a rest break. So I'm going to change this, and I'll show you how you do this. You click on it. It says 15 minutes travel time. How it registers 15 minutes is by using a clock. This clock says 12:15. 12:15 actually equals 15 minutes. If you don't remember how that works, click on instructions, and here's the travel time and shop time and how the clock works. If you put in 12, it's going to show you 0. 12:15 is 15 minutes. 12:30 is 30 minutes. 1 o'clock is an hour. 1:30 would be 1.5 hours, etc., etc. Okay? You never have to worry about changing AM. Always leave that alone. Just worry about those fields here so that you have the correct numbers. Go back to the third. Let's change this to an hour. So that would actually read 1. So we go here and we change this to 1.0. Enter. There you go. 1 hour. Ta-da! Okay. Now let's go back to here and go to the next stop. The next stop is 10 minutes. Okay. 10 minutes means it's 12:10. 12:10 it is. The next stop, 32 minutes. 32 minutes, I'm going to give it 30 because I overestimated up here. I'll probably make up some time. Also, I know the shops only take me 20 minutes and not 30. So I'll be pretty close if I go 30 minutes on my Concorde. And also, just a little tip to be safe, I'm going to go back to my Taylor and change it and add 5 minutes to it. That way, I know that I'm going to be okay on the time here if something happens. Okay, because like I said earlier, overestimate. The next stop is only 2 minutes away. So that's Harlow. So here I'm going to put 5 minutes, which would be 12:05. The next stop I have is going to be Fairmount. Fairmount is 28 minutes. We'll go a half an hour. Fairmount, 12:30. And the next stop is 12 minutes. That will be 15 minutes for Plymouth. And the last stop is going to be home, and that's going to be an hour. So what I usually do for an hour, if I've already used it once, I go back up to the hour, Control C to copy, and then I just go Control V to paste. Okay, I have now set up all the times for my shop times and my travel time. Now I need to know, when am I going to arrive? Well, I haven't entered when I've left home. I know that it's going to take me an hour to get to my first stop. I know that Riverview, by calling there, has told me that they open at 10 a.m. So I want to be there at 10 a.m. I made my appointment for 10 a.m. That's what I want, where I want to be at. So that means I want to leave here at 9. So I'm going to type in 9 o'clock. Ta-da! 9 o'clock I'm leaving home. 10 o'clock I get to Riverview. Then 10:45 I'll be at the next stop. 11:45, 12:20, 1:20, 2:05, and I should be home by 3:35. Everything goes well. And to verify that, all you do is you just go over to this side and you'll see 1 hour to get to Riverview makes it 10 o'clock. I'm going to be there for half an hour because I'll leave there at 10:30. Add 15 minutes travel to the next one makes it 10:45. And if you follow that across, you'll see it always comes out to be perfect. Now that we've done this portion, okay, we've now got it all allocated. We're good to go with this. We need to do another create temp map. Okay, because now we need to put it on our telephone for our GPS. This part is going to be a little tricky to show you how to do it, so I'm going to have to try and explain to you once we do it. All right, so I no longer need MapQuest, so I'm going to exit out of that. Okay, but what I do now need is Google Maps. So I will click on Google Maps, and Google Maps will come up just like so. If you do not have a Google account, you will have to make a Google account, and then you'll be able to access this portion. What you're going to do now is you're going to you will create a new map. We're going to give it a title. Click on the untitled map. This pops up. I'm calling it January the 3rd. Oops, January 3rd. Going to save it. Now, one of the things that many shoppers say that use Google Maps is it has a limit of only 10. That's not true if you do it this particular way, because you can import as many as you like. So you're going to go again, select from file from your computer. You're going to go back into your C drive, Route Planner 2.1, and you're going to click on the temp address, and you'll see that now these have all been sorted according to the way we set it up a minute ago. And we go to Open, click on Address, Continue, Address, Finish. It will now populate this screen. You want to go up here to where it says Individual Styles and click on that. Sequence by numbers is what I like, because that tells me the order in which I'm going to do those shops. So you'll see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back home to 8. Now, since I just created this map in my Google Maps, I can go to my telephone, bring up Google Maps, and it will show me this map, and I'll be able to zoom in, click on the individual stops, and it will give me my GPS directions directly to where I'm going. I may make another video showing you that with the camera, but right now I can't show you that part. So now I'm done with that. It's already saved. I can exit out of this. Okay. The last thing I want to do here is, again, I want to make sure everything's saved, so I fast save it. I then want to print the sheet. So I click print, up comes my printer. I can go OK, and it prints to my printer. Now, my printer is already set up to match the particular page, so there's no extra pages. You should actually go to File, Print, and you can preview and see parts are cut off. So what you can do is you can go to Scaling and play with the, not that one. You want to do fit all columns to one page. Okay? If you fit all columns to one page, everything will fit on 2 pages. That's fit all columns to one page. It shrinks it nice so that you can still read the document. It's not going to print your buttons down here. You don't need them. And you can go back and you're good to go. That takes care of that. That's how the program works. Now, once you've completed your shops for the day, you come home and you can either write on the expense sheet or you can come back into it and save it if you like. What I do is when I get back is I'll go, I fueled up the car. Okay, it cost me $25 for fuel. We stopped for dinner on the way home. It was and I rounded up my numbers, it was $15 for dinner. There were no hotels, there were no tolls. Cost me $40. So this route was $290 worth of actual revenue after expenses. Again, fast save it, and it's good to go. When you're ready to do your next route, go back to your master, create new planner. Oops. Create new planner. Pops up down there. Back to the shop date and start entering your information. If you have any questions, you can always message me. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions or any concerns, please give me a call. Updates will come along as I find things to change or modify to make it even easier for everyone. But once again, thanks for watching and have yourself a wonderful route shopping adventure. Bye for now.